On the last Monday Night Raw inside the Thunderdome, which was taped, by the way, before a taped show, I honestly thought it was one of the better ones, at least in the last few months. It's pretty good. Welcome, everybody, to Within the Ropes. I'm the host, your host, the one and only Brian Tronick. And while we say our final goodbyes to the Thunderdome tonight, I want to start off by talking about one of my favorite Thunderdome moments. And I would say that one of my favorite Thunderdome moments would have to be Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso inside Hell in a Cell, at Hell in a Cell last year. The moment that him and Jay and Jimmy had, the acting, the theatrics, just everything about it. The fact that they were able to, I felt like on that night they kind of opened up and created something special that I think going forward a lot of other wrestlers maybe used a little bit, or maybe could still use in the future, even with fans, like just sharing that moment, blocking everything out, almost like you're watching a movie. I think Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Hell in a Cell was probably one of my favorite matches in the Thunderdome, one of my favorite moments in the Thunderdome. But it's over. It's over now. Fuck the Thunderdome. We're out of there. That's it. Monday Night Raw tonight opened up with Xavier Woods and Bobby Lashley on a rare occasion. You know, you don't get too many Monday Night Raws opening up with a match, so that was good to see. Before Bobby Lashley made his way to the ring, though, they showed him in gorilla position, surrounded by the women, the shorties, and MVP motivating him and hyping him up. And I'll talk about it as we get towards the end of the review, as you all know what happened and what went down between Bobby Lashley and MVP. But you can kind of tell by the look on Bobby Lashley's face over the last few weeks that he's about business. He ain't really tripping off the ladies and the champagne and, you know, all the glitz and glamour. He just wants to make sure he keeps his title. He's all about kicking ass. He's been through crazy matches too. I mean, with Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell, Xavier Woods inside Hell in a Cell. Those were back to back. So he's been going through it a little bit. But Lashley makes his entrance, and then the match starts. Lashley aggressive early on with Xavier Woods. Woods takes a nasty bump. Lashley threw him over the top rope, and Woods kind of hit his face on the apron pretty hard. I thought that was pretty crazy, but, you know, Woods is tough. Kofi ringside looking at Bobby destroy Woods the entire time. The ladies are on the stage, on the couches with the champagne and just giggling and laughing and having a good old time. MVP is also ringside during this match. Xavier Woods manages to get a reversal on Lashley with a super kick and a tornado DDT counter. Lashley attempted to launch him over the top rope again, but Woods would hold on to the ropes, kick Lashley, then hit a drop kick off the top rope. Continues with a crossface, but Lashley powers out of it with a side slam. Now, again, I like the way Lashley works, especially with somebody with who's as quick. I wouldn't say as small, but who's just as quick as Xavier Woods. Lashley able to show his power and not necessarily swing and throw Woods around like he's Rey Mysterio or anything like that, but able to still show that he's powerful. And it's going to take a little bit of energy, more than normal, to keep Lashley down. Lashley hits a spine buster, then he drives Woods into the ring post on the outside. He throws him back in the ring, then hits him with the spear. Lashley at this point just toying with Xavier Woods. Kofi looks on, MVP looking on. And then for a split second, Woods somehow locks in an inside cradle to get the win and upset the almighty WWE champion, Bobby Lashley. Honestly should have seen this coming because a lot of matches on Raw and SmackDown as of late have been ending in like roll-ups and small packages and things like that. I thought it was a bad booking decision to have Xavier Woods pin the champion just 6 days removed from his championship defense against Kofi in front of fans at the pay-per-view. In my opinion, I thought it was a bad booking decision. I don't think that losing right before a big title match at a pay-per-view is a good look. So other than that, the match was great. After that, MVP was stopped backstage, and he was asked why Lashley left the building. Got word that Lashley was gone. MVP said it's not a big deal, and he just had to blow off some steam. He says he's going to be in the VIP lounge later on in the night. And at this point, I'm like, okay, we know what our main event is. So they announced Alexa's Playground with Eva Marie and Doudrop. And during this segment, Alexa tells Doudrop she likes her name, and then she repeats it, Doudrop, 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 Doudrop. She said, I like the name. And then she starts laughing, and Eva Marie tells her that she's the star of Monday Night Raw. She says that this is the last time she steps foot in this dingy, filthy playground. She says the Evolution deserves so much better. So it kind of didn't really make sense. I think the segment was pointless. Didn't really get much out of it. I don't know I kind of thought that obviously they teased Doudrop turning on Eva, but I think they're going to wait for that. They kind of backpedaled on that. But now it just seems like they're all over the place. Jinder Mahal and his goons make their way to the ring. Jinder reveals the broken sword, the Claymore, as him and Drew are having kind of like a word for word, bar for bar battle as Drew's backstage up there on the screen. Drew McIntyre reveals that he has the real Claymore. And at that point, he then turns to Jinder, his bike, and he starts to smash it. And we kind of seen this coming from a mile away. Drew McIntyre backstage, not coming out to the ring after Jinder invites him to come out. I kind of knew this was going to happen. They also showed Jinder pulling up on the bike again for a second week in a row as well. So it's like I was all right, something's going to happen to this bike. I already know. In my opinion, another pointless segment. I don't know if this is going to lead to something bigger, maybe Extreme Rules match between the two. I don't know. But the segment was stupid. The next match, we get Nikki Ash versus Naomi, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. But before the match, Nikki Ash and Riddle are backstage in Gorilla. She hears her music hit, and then she makes her way to the Fatal 4-Way match. Now, I think Riddle is being used correctly, right? And I'm going to go off topic for just a second. Riddle is backstage the entire night. He doesn't have a match, right? He's kayfabe injured. Randy Orton's nowhere to be found. I have no clue where Randy is. I don't think anybody has a clue where Randy is. But he's working. Riddle's working. I feel like they could be utilizing a lot more other talent to do spots and do things like this, just to be involved in the 3-hour show, than to just not have them on the card at all. But like I said, this segment with Nikki and Riddle, just talking and chopping it up, and Riddle talking and talking and talking and talking and talking like we've known him to do over these last few weeks. And Nikki Ash, all of a sudden her music hits. She's like, oh, that's my music. She says, I gotta fly. And then Riddle turns around and he's like, I thought you said you couldn't fly. But anyways, this match was good. Naomi goes right after Alexa. Bliss hits a nice crossbody after she stopped an Irish whip by landing on the ropes. And sort of like kind of like how Andrade does that. I don't know, that does that thing where he it's not quite a 619, but he kind of like goes against the ropes and catches himself on the rope. I don't know. You know what I mean. Nikki Ash then gets a near fall on Naomi with a roll up. Asuka and Naomi are in the ring at this point, trading blows until they both take each other down with a kick to the head. Ash and Bliss then face-to-face. Alexa attempting mind games until Eva Marie and Doudrop make their way down to the ramp. And at this point, I'm like, all right, what the hell's going to happen? Asuka then hits a DDT. Oh, I'm sorry. Alexa then hits a DDT on Asuka for a near fall. Alexa, distracted by Doudrop and Eva Marie, she gets out of the ring. She screams at Eva, and then Alexa's attacked by Doudrop. Doudrop then picks Alexa up, sends her over the barricade. Doudrop and Eva Marie go to look for her, and now she's gone. They cut to commercial break. When the break's over, the match resumes, and there's no Alexa Bliss. It's just Naomi, Asuka, and Nikki Ash. It's kind of weird calling her Nikki Ash. Nikki Cross, you know. But yeah, the match resumes. Asuka is handling business, taking out both Naomi and Nikki. Very unorthodox move at one point by Naomi as she kind of hits like a inverted Death Valley driver, or it looked like she was going to hit like a, what's that move Nikki Bella does? I don't know, she had her up on her shoulders. It wasn't like a Samoan drop, but she did like a Death Valley driver, brainbuster type, but she landed the other way, like knees first. I don't know. She did that though. Almost got a near fall over Nikki Ash, and then she gets Asuka. And then she hit the splits on both of them for another near fall. And then Naomi puts Nikki in a submission, then broken up by Asuka, who attempts a submission on Naomi, who then breaks it up it's broken up by Nikki, and then Asuka hits a code breaker on Naomi, which automatically sends her flying out of the ring, or she was kind of on the apron, but that takes her out. Then Nikki Ash would roll up Asuka for the win, 1, 2, 3, and yet again, here we go with another roll-up victory, as we all know is common to happen on Raw and SmackDown as of late. Besides the Alexa Bliss shenanigans, it almost ruined the match, but after she was taken out of the match was really, really great. It turned up. Naomi looked great. She hit some nice moves. Like I said, with the Death Valley driver looking move. She had a bunch of reversals. I thought her timing was on point. I was disappointed she lost, but at least she didn't take the pin. And that has become something common as well. Naomi hasn't really been taking a lot of pins, which could lead a lot of people to believe that maybe they're setting her up to win the Money in the Bank contract. But we could all be wrong. That could just be them just not wanting her to take the pin. I don't know. They're telling other stories. Who knows? Viking Raiders get interviewed backstage ahead of their singles matches against the tag team champions. Ivar then says he'll give Styles a phenomenal beating. Erik says he's going to use the inexperience of Omos to pick up the victory. Then they'll both win the tag team titles next week. Now, after this segment, they announced that Omos and AJ Styles are going to defend the tag titles against Ivar and Erik at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And I was confused because I was for sure they announced last week on Raw that they would be defending it next week on Raw, which they honestly could save it. It's no point in rushing it. I know we're going to see this match 2, 3, 4, 5 more times, after Sunday anyway. So they really don't have to rush it. But I get it. You first time having fans back, you want to give, it's more matches, best matches you can possibly give. So that's cool. We get AJ Styles versus Ivar. Pre-match, though, Styles says that he's going to make Ivar tap with the calf crusher. That obviously did not happen. Ivar hit Styles with a crossbody splash and then hit him with a pretty impactful clothesline that turned Styles inside out. Styles then gets the upper hand, looks for the phenomenal forearm, and instead hits a sunset flip over Ivar. He then rolls into a Pele kick. And Ivar manages to get the win. I don't know what this was. It was like a sit down, he basically sat on AJ Styles to get the win. Then we get Big Omos versus Erik, and Omos would win that match. Didn't really have much going on in there. just Omos being a big dude. Erik with a lot of agility, a lot of quickness. And that's one thing I took away from this match. Well, really every Viking Raider match is that both of those guys are very quick, very flippy, both of them. And I honestly hope that they can win the Raw Tag Team titles at Money in the Bank, because I think that Styles and Omos having the titles just don't really work. So yeah, we get a backstage segment with Sheamus talking with Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, angry that Humberto had been given a U.S. title match because his nose is broken. However, he says he's ready to defend the title. Sonya asks if they're on the same page. Sheamus agrees before walking out with a smirk on his face. I knew something was going to happen. I just knew it. New Day backstage, still happy about Xavier Woods' victory earlier in the night, approached by Lucha House Party, congratulating each other, them congratulating Woods, New Day congratulating Lucha House Party for beating T-Bar and Mace, which I thought was weird. But then they're interviewed, and Kofi vows to become WWE champion once again. We'll see about that. I saw online a picture floating around of somebody had posted a picture of Kofi and Dolph for the WWE title at a house show in Atlanta. I don't know if that's new or not, but yikes. Not yikes about Kofi winning the title, but just more so yikes about Kofi defending it against Dolph Ziggler. Like, nobody wants to see that again. What about the Dirty Dogs? Anyways, WWE plays a pretty cool Money in the Bank video package that was narrated by Corey Graves with a Brock Lesnar sighting. So that's pretty cool. That's promising. Keep Brock away from AEW. Do whatever you can. Just keep him away. Keep Bryan away too. There's speculation that Daniel Bryan might be showing up in AEW. But then you know what? I don't know. Bryan can go do whatever he wants. It's fine. He's given all he could to the WWE, I feel like. He's had a bunch of matches. Everyone who he wanted to have a match with got fucking released. So, there's really nothing for him to do there anymore. So, yeah, they showed the Money in the Bank video package. Sheamus attacks Humberto in the back before the match. Humberto. He's attended to by medical staff. Even Damian Priest had walked up to check on him. Him and Sheamus had a stare down. Humberto then insisted on going out when Sonya tried to call the match off. So we get Sheamus defending the United States Championship against Humberto, and the bell rang. The match started, and Sheamus hit a bro kick, and it was over. 1, 2, 3. After the match, though, Sheamus immediately attacked Humberto, set him up to break his nose just like he did. But then Damian Priest makes his way down the ring for the save. The United States champion takes the high road. And look, this is one match that I want to see. I love the setup for a potential Damian Priest-Sheamus match for the U.S. title. Hopefully it's at SummerSlam. I think that's going to be a dope match. Please do everything you can, WWE, to save that for SummerSlam. Do everything. Just save it. Little teasers here and there. Just save it. You don't have to do it right away. Just save it. We get a Ricochet and Riddle backstage segment talking about, everything. Ricochet talking about how crazy this Falls Count Anywhere match is going to be against Johnny Drip Drip. They're then ambushed by Johnny Drip Drip and The Miz as they call them splash holes and then sprayed them with the drip sticks. Riddle's foot then gets run over by Miz's wheelchair. So again, Riddle all over the show, several backstage moments, backstage segments, and things like that. Again, no Randy Orton, but that doesn't keep him off TV just because they're tag team partners. So that's pretty cool. We get Ricochet versus John Morrison in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Match is real physical. John Morrison, he hit a horrible looking neck breaker off the apron to Ricochet, and it looked like Ricochet was shaking up. Didn't look like it intended to be that way, but he recovered. John Morrison was in charge for most of the match. They seem to make their way over the barricade once again. Ricochet runs John Morrison's head right into the LED board. Ricochet then hits a 450 off the barricade. And then if you thought that was enough, he then hits a shooting star press on John Morrison, who was on the outside off the top rope and ring post. John Morrison then grabs a ladder, sets it up between the apron and the announce table. Ricochet again with more explosive, high flying, the explosiveness that we all know he can do. And I honestly didn't know that this match was going to be as good as it was. He hit a crossbody onto John Morrison on the outside off the apron. The match then heads to the stage. They're basically, I guess, trying to suplex one another. Couple of reversals. John Morrison then heads to Gorilla and hits Ricochet with a super kick right as he walks through the curtain. Then they make their way back to the ring. Ricochet gets distracted by the drip stick as the Miz sprayed him with the drip stick, almost loses the match, but he was able to recover and get back his focus. Riddle then comes scootering down to the ring, puts Miz upside down kind of in his wheelchair, like just tilts the wheelchair backwards, and now the Miz is laying on his back, and it was pretty funny. Ricochet then hits a frog splash on John Morrison, who had rolled out onto the ladder after he had gotten knocked down from inside the ring. And that was it, man. Ricochet then covered John Morrison, hit the for the 1, 2, 3, and Ricochet wins. And what I thought was, again, a very unexpected falls count anywhere match. I thought it was going to be, the typical, on the outside here and there, maybe some shenanigans, which it had a lot of that. It had a lot of shenanigans, but I like the fact that they went on the stage. They went a little backstage in gorilla position. It went over the barricade, which they've both have been doing over their last few weeks in their matches. They've been involved in doing moves off the barricade, doing moves over the barricade, all types of things. So it was a good match, man. Backstage, though, we get the women's tag team champions being interviewed. Natalya says that she's going to beat Rhea Ripley, which will get her one step closer to winning the Money in the Bank contract. Then they confronted Dana Brooke and Mandy. They were like laughing over off to the side. Mandy says she doesn't like the chances of her winning Sunday in the ladder match or against Rhea Ripley. Tamina then pushes Dana against the wall, and then they walk away. So I don't know. Who's the heel? Who's the babyface in this situation? Are we going to get Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose against Tamina and Natalya for the titles? No? I don't know. Anytime soon, maybe? I don't know. But in my opinion, another kind of weird, pointless segment that I didn't think they needed to keep since the show was taped. They really didn't need to keep that in. McIntyre gives another story time backstage. Whatever. Rhea Ripley's interviewed before her match with Natalya. She says she's going to expose Charlotte. The Queen City. You're going to... Then she said after after she beats her, she's going to give her a reason to need crutches. Let me say something. From the Queen City. I'm just going to say this once. Charlotte Flair is going to be 14-time women's champion after Sunday. It's not Rhea's time. It's Charlotte's time. It's over. It's over. Natalya and Rhea Ripley had a pretty good match. Okay. Natalya surprised me. She always seems to surprise me when she has singles matches. Her tag team matches aren't really that good, but whenever she has a singles match, it just reminds me that Natalya is one of the best, and she really could have another singles women's title run if she was given the opportunity. But Rhea Ripley would give her a kick to the head and then give her a riptide to win the match. Then after the match is what's important. What happened then is what's more important. The post-match attack by the Queen. The Queen City attacked the Raw Women's Champion, put her in a figure 4 leg lock while hanging out of the ring off the apron wearing heels. Wearing heels. Wearing heels. Yeah, Rhea Ripley had a good match. I think that this was one of her, one of her better matches, one of her better showings ever since coming to the main roster. Outside of the 3 matches that she had with Asuka, or the third match. I don't know how many they had, but the third match in a row that they had, I thought was one of Rhea Ripley's better showings. But let me fucking tell you something. From the Queen City, Charlotte Flair know what she doing. Charlotte Flair is one of the great. She's the greatest women's wrestler ever in that ring. I keep saying it. She said it's game over. Charlotte said it's game over. I just don't know what else. What does Charlotte need to do to prove that she's just untouchable? She's untouchable. She can't be touched. I'm sorry, she just can't. She can't be touched out there. What is it? I don't know. She's better. She's the opportunity. I'm going to keep saying it. The opportunity. Her in this role as a heel or, fucking a bitch, or I don't know what she's supposed to be, but matter of fact, no, I know what she's supposed to be. The Queen City. That's what she's supposed to be. That's what she is. She sent a message to Rhea Ripley tonight. And she let her know that you ain't the best. Yeah, you just had a match. Yeah, you just won your match. You got to have your head on a swivel. When you Raw Women's Champion, you have to have your head on a swivel at all times. What, you think Charlotte's stupid? No. No, she's not stupid. From the Queen City. Say it again. Charlotte Flair is leaving Fort Worth, Money in the Bank, 14-time Raw Women's Champion. Now, that's what y'all get. Y'all get y'all Queen City dose. After that fantastic post-match attack, PMA, after that fantastic post-match attack, we finally get to the main event segment, which is MVP's VIP Lounge. Now, stay with me here. MVP is in the ring with the shorties, with the ladies, partying with champagne, okay? MVP, he introduced Bobby Lashley. He said, come on out. Lashley doesn't come out. Music doesn't hit, nothing at all. Calls him a few more times. They're waiting around. Tells the ladies to help him out. So help me out with this. They call for Lashley one more time. Then his music finally hits. And he slowly walks to the ring looking pissed off. Like, suit not even on right. Like, just looking angry. MVP, at that point, asked the ladies to get Lashley a drink. He said, get Lashley a drink, man. What's going on with you, man? Like, get Lashley a drink. Lashley tells the ladies to leave. And then he tells MVP that he said enough. Lashley then says he thought about what Kofi said, and he was right. He talks about how MVP tries to cheer him up with women and drinks and Lashley says the bullshit needs to stop. And at this point, I'm like, oh boy, they're breaking up the last members, the freaking CEO, the founder and the CEO, the CEO and the president, they finna break them up. Because to be frank, there is no hurt business right now. It's just the two guys that own it, basically. I'm like, oh boy. He said the only thing he wants to focus on is destroying everyone in his path. Lashley then starts to destroy the entire VIP lounge set, throwing tables, knocking over glasses, glass breaking, throwing both the couches. He threw one of them over the top rope. He's chucking everything in sight. Kind of threw a temper tantrum. It was kind of a temper tantrum. It was a little fit. I'm not going to lie. Lashley then picks up his title, picks up the mic. He says he's going to tear Kofi Kingston in half at Money in the Bank and vows to kill Kingston's career this Sunday. And that was the last sighting, the last little bits of the Thunderdome on Monday Night Raw that we saw. That's it. It's over. I know a lot of people was expecting a big brawl, maybe Brock Lesnar. A lot of people were wanting Alexa Bliss to destroy the set with her voodoo and mind games. But no, we got the WWE champion ending the show, making it clear that he is about business and he's no longer about the bullshit. He don't want the girls. He don't want the champagne. He just want to hurt. This is the hurt business. And that's what it's about. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the WWE champion talking that shit, making the match even more must see than it was originally. I liked it. I appreciated it. What a way to end the Thunderdome era of WWE officially. And I don't know, my thoughts on this show, I think I'll give it an 8. No. I'll give it a 9 because Charlotte Flair attacked Rhea Ripley and she single-handedly proved why she is the most smartest and best in-ring and outside the ring performer ever. Women's in-ring and outside ring performer, at least. The Queen City. That's why I gave it a 9. I don't even have to predict that match. When I do predictions later this week, I ain't even got to talk about that match. Y'all know already. Y'all know. It's about to go down. We're having a celebration when Charlotte becomes the 14-time women's champion. That's pretty much it. I appreciate everybody tuning in, checking out the Within the Ropes Monday Night Raw review. I'll be back tomorrow for some NXT. Karrion Kross versus Johnny Gargano with Samoa Joe as the special guest referee for the NXT title. That should be a treat. We got a breakout tournament match as well. And I'm sure we'll have some other surprises. Maybe Roderick Strong in action. Who knows? MSK. I don't know. Who's next? Who's next for MSK? Hopefully we find that out tomorrow. Make sure you follow me on social media at Within the Ropes on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at Brian Tronic as well. And yeah, we got a long week ahead of us. NXT tomorrow, Fyter Fest Night 1 on Wednesday, Impact NXT UK Thursday, live in front of a live audience Friday night SmackDown on Friday, Slammiversary on Saturday, Money in the Bank on Sunday. So we're going to be busy. And I am right here to cover each and every single event for you the entire week. So stay tuned, stay locked in. Head over to YouTube, Within the Ropes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already. You might want to do it ASAP. Might have some surprises and things coming up. So please stay locked in, stay tuned. I appreciate those of you who've been patient through the first 20 episodes. This is number 21. This is number 21, but we've surpassed 20 already. I'm trying to knock these out every single show, every single review, as much as I can, as quick as I can. But we having fun. I appreciate all of y'all for supporting and listening and tuning in. I will be back tomorrow for NXT. Everybody have a good night. And enjoy this Queen City theme music. Good night, everybody.